I had an interesting video to like put out today, but I don't feel like doing that. I feel like just talking about my life and doing what I want because this is my channel. It's about me. My life is sort of like really in the fog, in the clouds right now, and I don't know what to do. I've so far filled the void by watching Parks and Rec. I know that that show came out like forever ago, but I'm finally getting into it. I am currently on season 5 in the middle of episode 9, but I stopped it because I know I need to make this video because it's like 11 o'clock, and this video needs to go out in like 9 hours. So, love Parks and Rec. Parks and Rec is great, but this video is not about Parks and Rec. It's about the fact that I might just crazily drop out of school this semester. I know I said in my last update video that I was going to stick it out through the end of the year, but my mother and I would like to go on a wonderful family vacation. And if we want to pull out all the stops and go full luxury, then I need to not do the second semester so that we can have the money for that. And it's very tempting because I don't know if I want to do the second semester because my friend just might drop out. And if she drops out, I definitely cannot stay because the department, well, my section has already been cut down by like half. So there were like 11 of us, and now there's going to be at most 6 of us probably going into the next semester. But all of my like good friends have left the department, which is already upsetting. And if my one friend leaves, her being the only other person of color, I would definitely lose my mind because I'm already so overwhelmed by how white my school is, and it upsets me every single day. So I just might not go. But I also might not go in general because I don't really like it there. But I do like I like parts of it. If it didn't cost me so much money, it'd be fine. But it does. So that's an issue. Especially since we're supposed to get like this big snowstorm on the first day of school. And they're probably still going to hold class because they expect everybody to live on campus and for it to like not be a big deal that it snowed. But I don't live on campus, and they're probably still going to charge me for those classes that I physically cannot go to, which is whack and not acceptable because I pay too much money. And if I'm not able to actually go to the class, like, I know that they won't give me the money because unless the class is like canceled for that reason, then I can't get a refund because like they had the class. It's just like I wasn't there. So that's really gonna suck, and I'm gonna hate that. And if that happens, then I'm definitely going to the registrar and getting a full refund and being like, I cannot do this. I cannot put myself into more debt. That's gonna be stupid. But I'm currently sitting in my room in full fear because last night at around 2 o'clock in the morning, I saw, I cannot confirm, I saw what I allege to be a tiny little mouse because I saw something about this big scurry underneath my door. And I'm not wearing my glasses, so I could not say for certain that it was a mouse, but all signs and evidence point to it being a mouse. So now there's just like mouse traps all over my room, and I'm sitting in fear that there's going to be one again, because I don't want that. So life isn't fun right now. Life isn't fun right now. And I was supposed to go and watch Shrek 2 tonight with a bunch of my friends, but it got canceled, so we're not having a fun time. Also, Halsey just released her world tour, finally gave us the dates for my neck of the woods. And she's going, and like the closest venue to where I live is the worst venue I've ever been to in my area. And I hate it so much. The sound quality there is such trash, but she's performing there, so I'm going to have to go. And it's going to be so far that I'm going to have to take like an Uber or something because there's no buses that are going to run at like midnight up in that area because it's in the middle of fucking nowhere. And I'm gonna have to go. I'm trying to convince my friend to go to the next show so that she can drive me and both of us, and we can actually go to like a place that doesn't suck. But who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Not me. Um, but life is just sort of going off the rails at the moment. I don't really know what I'm going to do because I thought I was like, oh, I'll just leave the semester and I'll start my prereqs early, but the semester's already started for all the community colleges that I would need to take my prereqs at. So I don't know what I'm going to do because I can't just like sign up now because it's too late. But if I just drop out of school, then I'm just going to work part time basically. And then there's nothing for me to do. So I'm just sort of like, I might have to go to a different workplace. I just need something that's full time. That's the gag. I think that's what I realize is that I need a job that's full time. But I need it to be exclusively in the evenings because the way that my schedule, at least with school, works out if I don't leave school is that I have class from like 9, and then the latest day of class is like 4, except for on Tuesday when I have class until 6:30, which is disgusting. But I have class until like 4. So I should be able to work evenings every night at my work, but that's like, it just like doesn't work that way because there's like a bunch of other people who also they need to like hire and have them work. So I'm working part-time hours, which I've realized is not enough hours. I need something full-time. I need something to 30 to 40 hours. And I don't know where I can get that. I don't know where I can get that, and I don't know how to go about doing that because I really like my job. I think it's not awful. And I would like to keep working there, but I'm also just sort of like, well, how do we make this work? Because it would be great if I could have like 2 part-time jobs. That'd be fun if like I just worked my current job in the evening and another job in the morning, and then I just like didn't go to school at all. That'd be fun. Because I genuinely don't think that I want to do this next semester. I don't think I'm gonna enjoy it. But like, what else can I do? There's nothing that I can really do. That's the fun part. So there's nothing else that I can really do. So don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't. My brain's really foggy right now. I think it's because I woke up in like the middle of the day and haven't done like anything. So my brain's really just sort of in a lull. So everything feels really foggy. I don't like it. But I was gonna say something positive, but I don't know. I genuinely don't know. My brain is so like and everything's just sort of and I don't really know a positive spin to put on this. I've gotten into Parks and Rec, and that's been really nice. That is the only good thing that's come out of this. Life is just really stressful. Today is a really not fun day, and I have to go back to work tomorrow to work like 4 days in a row, which is not gonna be fun, but is also almost exactly what I asked for, is to work every day. But I'm also just sort of like, why don't you shift me more in the morning? Because working in the morning is fine, and it's fun, and it's easy. Working in the evening to close is very hard and difficult, and I don't like it. So, I don't know. I need to work somewhere that has more consistent hours, is what I'm thinking. Because my well, I don't even know what would have more consistent hours. Because like my job is sort of like, they have later hours than the last place that I worked, but also their hours are not as late as I need them to be on a more consistent basis so that I could work like through the off season. Because like they're also just sort of in the business of working when people are going to be there, which is weird. But like if I worked at like a nice restaurant, like they open and they close, and then like if there aren't people there, then they're still open, because that's just how restaurants work. I feel like I need to work somewhere that's 24 hours. But like nowhere in this area is there anything that's open 24 hours, which is so annoying. I hate that a lot. So, and I can't leave the city limits because then the minimum wage goes down. I would love to work somewhere that doesn't pay me minimum wage, but there are really truly no options, and it's very stressful because you all need qualifications for all that. And then even then, the amount of money that you would put in to getting those qualifications would not pay off for the pay increase that you would get for getting those jobs. It's crazy and it's stupid and I hate it so much. But the minimum wage did go up in my city on the 1st of January, and I didn't know that. It went up like 40 cents, so that's so nice. It's really not a lot, but it is better than like nothing. I'm just not having a fun time. My life is sort of spiraling and I don't know what to do. And I'm really not looking forward to the first day of school coming back. I'm really not looking forward to going back. I'm really not looking forward to going back. Because I don't want to. I just don't want to. I don't think it's going to be fun, and I don't think I'm going to like it, and I don't think I want to do it. But I also just, if I just drop out, then there's nothing for me to do. There's nothing for me to do. So, very stressed. But I think that's enough ranting, because I'm not going to edit this video, so we're going to keep it as short as possible. My life is sort of spiraling. Hopefully I'll be in the right headspace to make like a better video, next week, but who knows? Genuinely don't know. Hopefully by next week, this will all be sorted out, because the first day of school would have already passed, because it's Wednesday. I have to go back to school in less than a week. I don't like this. But this is the place that my life is at. Life isn't always fun. Life is sometimes bad, which is not fun. I'm gonna go downstairs. I want to eat something sweet, but what do I want to eat? I think I'm gonna have some Nutella. That sounds nice. I'm gonna have some Nutella. I hope you all are doing well. I hope your life is filled with meaning and purpose and happiness. I love how I said I was gonna stop, but then I thought of more things, so I'm gonna keep talking. I read this post, I think it was on Tumblr, about how kids nowadays aren't able to like dream about things because of the awful state of the world, and it's very true, and it's very awful, and it's kind of ruining my life. Because like there was like this article where this woman was like reading all these interviews about kids after like after World War II like ended. It was in the 50s. That was after World War II. Yes, I didn't do well in my history class. But and all those kids were like dreaming about like flying cars and like a better future and like wonderful things. And now kids nowadays are like, I guess I would love to have a house. That would be a great goal, because we're just in such a fucky time. Like, this country's definitely gonna start World War III. That's super fun. The environment is dying. The economy sucks. And, like, even if I can get past this bullshit and figure out what I want to do, like, how am I supposed to figure out what I want to do if, like, there is no future to do it in? You know? If, like, the world is gonna end, because it definitely is, and it definitely feels like the world's gonna end, what's the point of doing anything? What's the point of doing anything? What's the point of caring about anything if the world's just going to end? Like, how can you feel motivated and, like, happy and motivated and hopeful for a future that you don't believe in, you know? When I don't believe that there is gonna be, like, a great, big, beautiful tomorrow shining at the end of every day, then, like, how am I supposed to put in the feelings and the good vibes into now to push myself into the future? Because I'm just working on pure logic. There's no hope or dream in my system. I'm literally giving that up. That's what I tried to do. Tried to go to a nice acting school, tried to throw my dreams right in front of me, try to like go for it. But like, it's just gonna put me in debt. And I know with the way that this world is and its economy, there's no way I'm gonna get out of it if I dig myself into this hole any farther than I already have. So, why would that be my dream? If I'm just going to screw up my future, because there's no way to like win this, there's no way to get past this, there's no way to build a future for yourself when the world's already really fighting against you. So, I'm trying to do the logical thing, trying to just play it real safe. But even then, you don't know anything. You don't know if it's gonna work out. What if, like, tomorrow, Iran's like, okay, we're going into war, and then everyone gets drafted, and then we go into a second Great Depression. We don't know. We don't know. Life is crazy. Life is awful. I just want to go back to watching Parks and Rec. I want to eat some Nutella and watch the Parks and Rec and disassociate and not think about the future. It's a fun time having a decade-long existential crisis. I was thinking about that, actually. This was a video I was going to make until I lost all motivation after I saw a mouse. But I was thinking about this past decade and how much I've changed as a person. Because I really, truly did like a whole this in terms of personality in my mind and how I've grown. It's really crazy that like 10 years ago, I was like a baby. And now I'm here as like an adult. It's really fucking crazy and I don't like it. Not one bit. I don't like it one bit. Because time is moving too fast. Time is, as we all know, an illusion. But also, it is moving too fast. Because who has enough time to do anything? No one is the answer. I don't have enough time to do anything. And time is swiftly being taken away from us by the given circumstances of the world. And there's nothing we can really do about that. It's just so awful because anytime that you think about it or have to confront it, there's no way to fight it. You just shut down because that's all that you can do. Like one of my acting teachers asked us how we like function as young people in the world nowadays with like the world as it is now, and we all just said we just do because that's all that we can do. We just keep going, and we don't because there's no way for us to not. Like that's the only option you have is just to keep going. We can't fight against it because it's too big for us to fight. We can't go back because that's impossible. We could take ourselves out of the game, but everyone says that's a bad idea, so we're not allowed to do that. So we just have to keep going forward, hating the life that we're living and hating the future that we're walking into. And it's awful. And I hate it so much. Wish I was back in therapy, but I can't afford it. Not in this economy. That would be the only good thing about going back to school is that they give you free therapy. I would love to do that. Just have an hour where I'm just like, the world is awful, and how am I supposed to feel hopeful for anything when the world has no hope? The world's awful. We have to kill all the billionaires. Someone has to take a stand. Like, everyone is so against violence nowadays because they're like, ugh, why can't we just all be peaceful? I'm just like, we just need a good old-fashioned French Revolution. Someone needs to bring out the guillotine. We need an angry mob, and we need to just go find all the billionaires and just chop their heads off. But, like, it's not, like, even if we were to do that, which sounds great and fun, it's not like the olden days where we would then just be able to take over shit and, like, get all their money. Because now we have, like, countrywide militarization and, like, trust funds and estates where that even if, like, the one billionaire who owns all the money, like, dies, we can't just go and steal all their money because the money isn't real. It's just, like, numbers in a computer that would then be, in because of contracts and wills and all that, be divvied up into other things and not to the people. It's awful. The world is awful, and everyone's just wanting it. Everyone's just like, why can't we just be like old-fashioned and traditional? Go back to the way things were. Why, like, oh, the good old days. And I'm like, there were no good old days, and we've gone too far into the bad future days that we can't go back into the good old days. You know when there were good old days when we were all fish in the sea? That was a good day. That was a nice, fun day. All of this is to say that the only place that I find joy is when I am on vacation, because with the vacations that me and my mother partake in, as you've seen on my YouTube channel, we go to theme parks, we go to amusement parks that fully immerse you in a different life, where you don't have to think about the current state of the world. And that is all that I want. I want to be taken away to a place where I don't have to think about the current state of the world, where when I think about it, I'm just like, oh, I get to wait in line to ride this fun ride. And that's my only issue. It's just, oh, they're out of the food that I want. Guess I have to go somewhere else. That's what I want my issues to be. Not, will I live long enough to see the next decade? That is not a question we should have to be asking ourselves, you know? But it is. And this is the world that we live in. And we can do nothing except accept it. That's all we can do, because there's no way we can just be like, hey, I don't like that, how about we do something different? Because we're all trying to do that. And it's not working. We've been trying to fight against it for a few years now, and we're all just fucking tired. So, I would like us to get out of this limbo. I would like for us to either go full anarchy revolution or full, like, Big Brother militarization. Like, we either need to live in a dystopia or a utopia. I hate this middle-topia. I hate the middle-topia. The middle-topia sucks. Like, I know how to deal with a dystopia. I've read a bunch of books about it. I know how to deal with the utopia. I've read a bunch of books about it. This middle-topia sucks. No books about the middle-topia. Hate the middle-topia. It sucks. There's no topia. There's no topiary. It's just the middle, and it's awful. And it's evil, and it just weighs you down and drains all of the energy out of you. Like, getting anywhere takes so much time. Hate living here. All the stupid traffic. I just want to get places quickly, but then the buses don't show up, and then it takes forever to get places, so, like, you're so discouraged from ever going anywhere, and everywhere's so expensive. Like, I looked up because I thought it was so cool, because I was like, oh, I love Power Rangers. Power Rangers continues to make new Power Ranger shows on Nickelodeon with new casts. I was like, I want to be a Power Ranger. Then I looked at the casting, and I'm too tall to be a Power Ranger. already crushed every childhood dream I've ever had. So I was like, what if I just learn all the skills of being a Power Ranger? They're basically just doing like parkour and gymnastics. What if I learned how to do that? And I looked it up, and the classes are like so much money. Like the only parkour thing that I ever found in like my area that I could try to do, because most of them are geared towards like children and I'm not a child anymore, is a $99 a month fee. And I'm just like, I don't have the kind of money to do that. I don't have the time. I was also looking through like community centers and like Parks and Rec and stuff, because I've been watching Parks and Rec, and I was like, what classes can I take there? And there's so many cool, interesting classes, except I have real class that I'm paying to take at the same time, so I can't learn anything that I'm actually like interested in. I can have no hobbies because they're too expensive. They're too expensive. That's the worst part. Is that like there are great programs set up in, I'm not going to say throughout the country, but at least in my area, for low income housing or houses. Like if you're poor, you get things for free, which I think is great and very good, and we should have more of that. Except I am in this awful, awful middle range of lower middle class, where I'm not lower class, so I can't get any of the benefits of being poor, but I am still too poor to pay for any of the services I actually need, which fucking sucks. Hate it. Hate it so much. It sucks. It really truly does, and I hate it, and it's awful, and life is awful, and government has failed us. The life has failed us, and there's truly, I think, no way for us to dig us out of this hole, because even if every person were to change their minds right now and be like, we need to invest all of the money into like good things to improve the world, like I think we're too far gone, and all we have to do is like live like a slow, painful death. It's like we're frogs in a pot of boiling water. You know the thing where like if you drop a frog into boiling water, they're gonna jump right out. But if you slowly turn up the heat, they'll just kill themselves. And I think that's what's happening. I think we're all realizing that the heat is significantly hotter than when we first got in this pot of boiling water. But we're just like, oh, it's fine. And eventually we will boil to death. So that's super fun. I did not mean for this video to get so dark and existential, but that's really where my head's at right now, and it's really not fun at all. I think that's the reason why I stopped binging shows. I think that's a subconscious reason, because I haven't binged a new show in a really long time. I haven't gotten into anything. I think it's because I'm already at season 5. There's only 7 seasons of Parks and Rec, and I'm already feeling that dread of the show being over, and that sadness of being like, well, I've watched it all, and I can't like go back and like watch it again for the first time and experience it again, because it's over. I hate things being over, and that's the feeling that I feel of the world. Like I feel like we're in season 5 of 7 of the world, and I'm feeling the dread of it being over. But there's nothing you can do, because you can't just like stop watching the show, because you've already invested all this time. You need to see how the show ends, but like you know that the end is coming. It sucks, and I hate it, and I hope none of you felt this existential dread. I'm sorry for putting all of this on you. Go eat some good food, spend time with good friends, and go watch some fun TV, and don't think about how the world's going to end.